Monday, May 6th, has issued a high risk of severe weather, and it is confirmed that it is causing damage. Again, it's this little area right here. If you are in this area north of Parkin,
Now, hello everybody, my name is Christian and welcome back to Skycast, and it has been a few months since I've made a video. I've had my computer in the shop, but we are back going to be discussing a few different things. The main thing I want to dive in today is the tornado drought, which has ended the EF-5 tornado drought. And if we do zoom in right here towards the Enderlin Sheldon area, we can see we have this pink area. That is the EF-5 tornado, which occurred on June 20th and June 21st. It was a severe weather outbreak. Now, one of the EF-5 damage indicators that we do have is this train right here. This is credit of Aaron Rigsby. And what happened is as this tornado crossed the train tracks, it kind of sideswiped these train cars off, but it lofted one all the way out into the field here. And it was estimated by both the National Weather Service and by Ethan on X that it would take about 260 give or take miles an hour for this to occur. So very, very strong tornado. This did get the EF-5 rating for exceeding 210 miles an hour, which only one tornado previously has ever received this rating. So definitely interesting to see the post-analysis upgrade, and I'm curious to see on if this will continue for other tornadoes to get more different upgrades depending on new footage, things of that nature. And right here it does say on the National Weather Service Damage Assessment Toolkit, laboratory estimated potential wind speeds of 266 miles an hour to loft the train car. And down here at the bottom, it does say that the train cars were nearly 2 times farther than the average EF-5 threshold speed, which is it's just wild to think about how strong this tornado was. And this occurred on a day that was fueled by both a prefrontal supercells and a QLCS derecho line behind it. So it was very interesting to see how this unfolded. 2025 was the year to break the EF-5 drought, the first one since 2013, and the strongest tornado of the 2020s. This is also the only EF-5 recorded tornado in the month of June. So very interesting to see how that unfolded. Now, since we don't have much severe weather going on, we are going to be talking about the tropics a little bit too. And we have two things that are more interesting to say the least. And number one is down here towards the Northern Antilles, the Lesser Antilles, Northern Antilles area near St. Martin and Puerto Rico. We have Tropical Storm Jerry. This has winds of 52 miles an hour, and this is expected to continue off to the north and to the northeast. No impact to the U.S. Expected. We had some tropical storm conditions towards the Northern Antilles Islands right here, but besides that, not really a favorable environment for development, and thus this will continue to gradually weaken as it continues off to the north and northeast. Not really much of a threat to anybody with this one. Now, another thing that I do want to talk about, not really looking at much really from the satellite point of view, but we also have was tropical storm, now post-tropical cyclone Karen. If we do zoom out, this is all the way up here. If we pull out the drawing tools up here, right now we can see that over here, this is the east coast of the United States. The main development region is kind of in this general area, and Tropical Storm Karen, post-tropical storm Karen formed right up here, kind of in the main North Atlantic basin. So it was very interesting to see that this did get named. One of the furthest north developed systems since 1952, which was an unnamed cyclone. So very, very interesting to see that this did get named and did end up at that tropical storm status. Now, I do want to reiterate, somebody on X mentioned this too. We always have post-tropical cyclones and all that move towards this area, not really a conductive environment, so they usually taper off like Karen is doing. But this is the first one that has actually been able to form up in this area, and I wanted to reiterate that. That is fairly cool to see, not too often that we get things like that. And over here in the Pacific, not really much going on out here too, but we do have post-tropical cyclone Priscilla, and then over here we also have tropical storm Raymond. This is expected to continue weak into a tropical depression before hitting the Baja California. This may bring some rainfall totals to portions of the southwest United States, Arizona, Los Angeles. We had a fairly significant flooding threat out today. Didn't really allude to much just yet. But this may bring some more rainfall towards those areas depending on how far north it goes. So definitely need to keep an eye on that too. But besides that, tropics have remained relatively quiet over the last little bit. Now, another thing that we will need to be watching throughout tonight is the flash flooding risk that I mentioned just a moment ago across portions of central Arizona and southwestern Utah. Not really much has occurred today, but some rainfall totals between 2 and 4 inches, maybe locally higher, will be possible, especially across the Flagstaff and the Cedar City, St. George area. Look at all these areas of heavy rainfall. If we go ahead and rewind this is mainly going to be a nighttime area, but all these reds, especially across the Cedar City, St. George area in southwestern Utah. We continue this through the Flagstaff area. A lot of these reds, these are going to be little downpours that may become elongated. So definitely need to be aware, take precautions if flash flooding does occur to your property. If this isn't really something that is going to be an absolutely humongous wild flash flood risk, but something to take precautionary and have that plan just in case something does end up happening. And here is the excessive rainfall list. Risk, I did mention, big time marginal and slight risk through the Vegas Phoenix area, all the way up here into the Durango Grand Junction area of Colorado along that Route 50. But the main two areas that we're highlighting, once again, up here towards southwest Utah, including areas like the national forests that are here, St. George, Cedar City, and then if we go down here, Pueblo, Flagstaff, Winslow, Prescott, once again, the other national forest here. So definitely need to be keeping an eye on that over the night. Make sure you have ways to receive alerts. Now, things should be returning to normal on this channel. I have had my computer in and out of the shop. Over the last little bit, it wouldn't turn on, thus I couldn't make much of a video. But we're going to be back. You can follow me on X, link in the description for constant real-time updates. Have a great day. Stay safe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.